Hi, Kathy. I think you have to unmute your little microphone. There we go.
How are you?
Oh, good. I can hear you that time.
Okay.
That's my volume there. Can you hear me okay?
Yes. Perfect.
Right, awesome. So we'll just wait till everybody gets on.
Yes.
Oh, I see everybody. Jenny. Okay. All right. Sorry. All right. There we go. I don't know why it's not listing everybody in the. It's weird. I want to be able to cast my screen to you guys, but I don't know.
On the bottom of mine, there's a share button. And then it asks me to choose if I want to share my screen or whatever.
Ah, I see it. Thank you. Perfect. Okay, let's try this. Can you all see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, that's just a little different than I'm used to. All right, perfect. Okay, I think what we'll do is get started at 7:05 since this is our first meeting. I'll allow a couple more minutes before I start. getting a call. I'm thinking it's by somebody. Hang on just one sec. Hey guys, how did you guys connect? Because I have 3 people on a totally different meeting.
What I did was I went into Canvas, and then on like the home screen of Canvas, it says right there.
Yeah.
That's what I clicked to get here.
Same here.
I don't know how they're in a different meeting. Okay, 1 second. No one's got these like silly headphones like I do. You guys can all hear me though, okay, hopefully. Okay, we'll just get started. So I'm Tim. Nice to meet you guys. Been with APU about 10 years now as an adjunct. I used to do the face-to-face classes. I've done anywhere from like a video editing class for teachers, but always in ed tech. So, and then they kind of grandfathered me into the online program and stuff. So I'll just give you a little information about myself, and then we'll quickly go around through each of you guys. And if you could, when we get to you, just tell us your name, introduce yourself, and I'll kind of do like a roll call that way too. But as you're talking, I'll write your name down, and then you get credit for being here. But just tell us kind of where you're at in your educational career right now. Are you just a student finishing up and you're not yet in the classroom, or you're in the classroom and you've been teaching for a little while, or maybe you're just subbing? And then kind of what area in California? Is there anybody out of state, not in Southern California? Okay. So this is what area you guys are in Southern California, and then we'll move on to the next person. So what I'll probably do is just call you guys out. So we'll start.
I had a quick question. I'm still viewing your screen, but I don't see anybody else. I'm viewing the email.
It's okay. I went into up at the top in my Zoom meeting. I was able to toggle through different things. Are you guys all seeing each other or no? You just see my screen?
I just see your screen and you.
Yeah, and the little thing, there's like these little icons at the top.
Yeah, I see all the icons on top.
So yeah, I'm thinking maybe you have like one that is selected that is a different way that you're just seeing me. Because I was kind of playing around with those two, and I saw, there's show large active speaker video. There is show small active speaker video. And then I could kind of toggle through that. But it's got to be in your Zoom settings. But even if you don't see people, it's okay. You'll be able to hear them, at least.
Okay.
Sorry about that. I can't fix it unless I be there. So, Gino, you had a question?
Yeah. Kathy, do you see his image like really large?
I see it like the size of like a 2x2-inch thumbnail.
Sorry, if you switch the images on the top right, if you press swap, it'll make his picture really big. But I was wondering if that's what you had done. But anyways, sorry.
No, it's okay.
All right, so I'll go first. So yeah, I've been with APU now for about 10 years, and I've been teaching this class the longest. And out of all the classes I've taught with APU, it's my favorite class to teach because it's emerging trends in technology. So we get to look at everything's always constantly changing. So the content I was teaching 5 years ago when I did this wasn't the same as it is now. So I work and sort of co-teach this class with Dr. Jim Brown. I don't know if you've had Jim or ever met Jim Brown, but and so we come up with new things. We'll always visit each other online and come up with new content and change things and take things out, etc. So we actually made some big changes to the class when we went with Canvas. And so hopefully you guys are getting used to using Canvas if you've been using Sakai before. I think it works a lot better. It's kind of funny because I remember when we were doing face-to-face, I actually used Canvas. The university didn't care what LMS we used, so I used Canvas. And then I was kindly asked by the who was in charge at the time that we need to actually use Sakai. That's what the university mandated us to use and what they pay for. So I'm like, okay, so I switched over, and now they've gone to Canvas again. So it's kind of nice to be back to it, but it's changed quite a bit over the years. So I'm kind of getting used to it too. In my day job, I am a high school teacher at Murrieta Mesa High School. I teach in the media arts department. I teach graphic design 1 and 2 and video game design and programming. And I have all levels of kids 9th through 12, so all freshmen to seniors that are doing kind of elective courses and stuff. And before I was actually a graphic designer, so this is kind of a second career for me. I've been teaching in the classroom in public education now about 15 years. So that's about me. I live in Murrieta, so I live right down probably about 10 minutes from the high school. And my kids go to school. My wife teaches in the district too, in elementary school. So I'd love to hear about you guys. So we'll just start from the top of my list. I'm not sure if you guys see the same list I do in the same order, but we'll start with Jenny. So Jenny, if you could just introduce yourself and tell us kind of your position right now in teaching, where you're at in teaching.
Hi, I'm Jenny. I'm a substitute teacher. I've been a substitute teacher for like 2.5 years now, mostly in Murrieta, a little bit in Temecula. And I've finished a year of this program so far, and I hope to student teach next semester. I'm a single subject candidate, and I hope to teach 6th grade science.
Okay, and then over to, it says Katia, but I'm guessing, are you using somebody's computer?
Yeah, exactly. My name's Luis Reyes, not Katia. So I've been substituting for a couple of years now in the Temecula Valley area. Right now, I'm in the clinical practice phase of the program. So today was my second day. Yeah, in the clinical practice student teaching. It's been good so far. And my content is art, middle school.
Nice, cool, welcome. You're right here by me. All right, awesome. Kathy.
Hello, I am Kathy Wingate. I am currently in clinical practice, but I'm working on the intern credential. So I'm already in the classroom by myself with my support staff. I'm in special education. I serve students who are moderate to severe at San Jacinto Unified School District. And I started my certificated role back in July doing all the new teacher trainings, but it's like baptism by fire, just getting thrown in and learning the students. I already have IEPs coming up, and it's definitely an experience, and I'm enjoying every second of it.
Awesome, thanks for sharing, Kathy. That's exactly what I remember doing. I got hired on as an intern too, and that first day you're in the classroom and you're like looking at the kids and you're like, this just got real.
No, I'm
So,
like, we're gonna learn together.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Awesome. And I'm sorry, you said which grade? Oh, you do moderate to severe, but what's
Oh yes, I'm sorry. I'm at an elementary school, so I'm servicing students who are kinder through 2nd grade, and so a lot of my kinders, this is the first time they've ever been in a school setting. So we're really learning how to function as part of a community, how to function in a group, and how to pretty much compliance right now.
Okay, cool. Thanks. Thanks for letting us know. Okay, over to you, Gino.
My name is Gino Fregoso. I just started student teaching as well, so 2nd day, same here. I'm in the multiple subject, so I want to teach elementary. And right now, well, I live in Azusa, so that's where I'm at.
Awesome. Thanks, Gino, for sharing. Over to Ilya. Did I say that right? Hopefully.
Hi, my name is Ilya.
Ilya.
Yeah. And I am currently a 4th grade teacher as an intern for my clinical practice. And yeah, I'm really excited about it. It's been fun so far. Lots of growing between the students and myself as a teacher. And yeah, so that's where I'm at currently.
Awesome. Sorry, I messed your name up. Did you ever get that? Like people say it the way I said it, or no?
All the time, because it's from Star Trek, so it's a little bit unique.
Awesome. Well, thank you for sharing. Appreciate it. Okay, Christian.
Oh, sorry about that. My name's Christian. I'm about 3 to 4 months away from starting clinical practice if everything goes well. I live about 15 to 20 minutes away from the main campus in the La Puente area. And right now, I'm not subbing, but I have a private tutoring job where I have anywhere from 5th to 8th graders and around 20 students.
Awesome. Cool. Thanks for sharing.
You're welcome.
And you said you're close to campus?
Yeah, about 20 minutes.
Awesome. So you're excited? You're like you said you're 3 months away from?
Yeah, January, if everything goes well, that'll be the start date. I'm excited, a little nervous, but I mean, it should go well.
Awesome. Okay, Jenny We heard from you already, I think. You got bumped down though. So Michelle, you're up.
Okay, hi, I'm Michelle. I am an intern in special education, mild moderate right now. It's my second year at Azusa. I'm in San Diego, doing my internship through San Diego Unified at a school called Fulton. I'm servicing students K through 4th grade.
Cool. Very good. Okay, and then over to you, Eric.
Can you guys hear me?
Loud and clear.
All right, cool. My name is Eric Relis, and I teach SDC at Azusa High School. I'm mild to moderate, and I love these technology classes because my students are at multiple different reading levels, and the technology helps me. It saves them and me from all the headaches of having to go paper. So I love these classes.
Awesome. Yeah, I try to encourage people getting their master's, get it in ed tech. It's just a lot of fun, I think.
It is. It's very useful. I mean, you can use it for everything. It's awesome.
Yeah, it's kind of marketable too when you go into your interview to try to get a job in a district and you're like, I have it in ed tech. They like to hear that. So
yeah, they do.
Okay, over to Crystal. Lou.
Hi. So I didn't get the question initially. I must have been on another Zoom link. Is it something about technology?
Oh, we're just going around and introducing ourselves.
Okay.
Yeah, just tell us, introduce yourself and then where you're at kind of in your teaching career and what location in Southern California.
I live in the San Diego area. I teach mild mod. I'm a resource specialist for a dual language academy in the East County. And I am just finishing up the 2 last, so I've completed the credential portion. I was just finishing up like 548 and 5, the capstone courses. So I should be done in December.
Oh, wow. Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right. I think that's everybody. I know we're missing a few that couldn't be here. And Crystal, was there somebody in the Zoom meeting with you? I know Michelle was at first.
I just saw them, I think, pop into this meeting now.
Oh. Okay, let's see.
But she let us know someone was on the phone with you and she said that we had the wrong Zoom link. So I just started going through all of the forms and I found it.
Okay, no worries. We're actually missing quite a bit tonight. So I am recording this, so it should be okay. I'll just get them. No big deal. Okay, so I'll try to go through this as quick as possible. It'll be a lot of me talking and I'll open it up for any questions you guys have near the end and then we'll wrap it up. Hopefully by 8 o'clock, I think. So let's begin with the syllabus. I'll also send you guys some of the meeting notes and stuff that we covered. This is in my way. Move out of the way. There we go. There we go. Okay. We're not going to go over the syllabus in its entirety. Can you guys see my screen? Still, hopefully. So, okay, perfect. We already talked about this being emerging trends in technology, but here's my contact information. There's my cell number if you guys want to make note of that. I think that's the best way to get a hold of me, even better so than email. You can text me anytime throughout the day. Usually I can fire back a response within minutes of you texting me unless I have my phone shut off or something. If not that, then if you send me an email, I promise you I'll get back to you within 24 hours to answer any questions or concerns. You go, hi. That's okay. And then, so that's my contact information. If you need help with Canvas, contact support. I know there are some people that at first were, I thought there was something wrong with Canvas. And I can't remember who it was, but they emailed me yesterday and they're like, yeah, I can't see Canvas and everything. And I'm like, oh man, okay. So go to the support desk, blah, blah. And I didn't publish it. So usually in Sakai, it like just automatically opened up and then certain sections would only open up when I opened them. It's like with Canvas, it will not open at all unless I first publish it. So I have to do that. And then there's going to be sections that open up week by week. But okay, so we're going to have a second online meeting that's required on September the 24th. So if you want to put that in your calendar, same time, same day of the week. That'll go really fast. It won't be as long as tonight's, but where we really start talking about the Major Applied Research Project, or the MARP. which is going to be your signature assignment. So I really want to cover that in greater detail than I would tonight. Tonight we're going to gloss over some of the assignment projects and talk about Canvas and the best way to navigate through that. And then we'll cover MARC on meeting 2. Meeting 3 is totally optional on the 8th of October, and that's getting closer to the end. That's for anybody that's having difficulty, struggles with anything. It's basically, I'll meet with you online if I need to, and help you out. So some people like to sit in on that, but what I usually do is I'll remind you guys we have a meeting coming up like the day before, and if you're going to be there or not. If everybody says we're all good, we're not going to be there, then I actually won't even log in. But even if one of you needs me, I'll make sure that I'm on the 8th of October. So hopefully you've read through the syllabus by now, and you've especially looked at the course description. And I would just say, to sum it up, it is exactly what you expected it to be. We're going to be looking at emerging trends in technology, kind of the nuances with different types of technology that you could bring into your classrooms to enhance your instruction, basically. So the continuing course textbooks, you don't need any for this class, but we're required to put that on the syllabus. So these are just books that you would use throughout the course. All right, so we're going to go past. Our faith integration is going to be handled in the way of discussions that you guys are going to do weekly. So there's 8 weeks, we'll do 8 discussions. So I'll talk about that more in a second once I get over to Canvas. But I wanted to go down and just point out some different things to you. The way I usually do late work is each week that it's late, I'll kind of deduct things by about 10%. So you want to make sure you get your stuff in. It's just going to take a deduction if it's, it goes weeks and weeks and weeks, but that doesn't usually happen because I'm in contact with you. So if I'm like, it's a good week or so and I haven't gotten like your project-based learning paper yet, and I haven't heard from you about that, I'll reach out to you and say, hey, is everything okay? Is there anything I can help you out with, and kind of keep you guys going. And, stuff happens in our lives. And so, if you keep me in the loop on things, I can work with you guys. What we don't want to do is have you kind of falling behind. We want to try to get you back up and get you through the class. Okay, so. Okay, just real quick, I like to always point out about the copyright. You guys are going to obviously be using resources in some of your presentations, like pictures and whatnot. Please make sure you have at the very end of your papers and your presentations, you've listed where you get everything that you're using. So even if it's one image that you get, you sort of resource that at the end to cover you as far as copyright responsibility. Okay, I don't know if you guys have noticed, because Canvas was only opened up during the summer. I don't know if you guys took any summer classes. Can you just raise your hand if this is your first class you're taking that's actually on Canvas? Okay, that's what I thought. So you'll notice here, I'm back on Canvas, that if you click on Taskstream, there's actually, Taskstream is actually embedded in Canvas, which is kind of neat. Just takes a second for it to load up there. Before, you had to go outside of Sakai and get to your get to your Taskstream and find where you put in your signature assignment. That being said, back over on the syllabus, if you have any issues with Taskstream, just look to the syllabus. Sometimes occasionally will have students in a term notify me and say, I don't see where I can post my signature assignment, yet they're enrolled in the class. So that's something that I can't actually fix, but if you go to this help desk for Taskstream specifically, they'll fix it for you. So you are required to post that signature assignment there, and it's also where the rubric is. So I would highly suggest at some point, probably week 5, I think, when the topic of the MARC comes up, because we're going to give you a few weeks to work on it because it's the big project that you're going to do. You want to look at the rubric to make sure that you're doing everything you need to get the highest score possible. Okay, so just a quick description of projects you'll see here. I'll go over these in a second, but I don't want to do it off the syllabus. This is not anywhere near the details of what's required for each of these, but it just gives you a kind of a highlight of what's coming up of the larger scale stuff. There's some smaller assignments that go with this, mostly this will make up the bulk of that. And then if you add on the discussions, that's basically the whole amount of workload that you could expect to do in the class. So you're going to be posting in the discussions each week, and then you'll have occasionally these other assignments that are coming along. Some of them are presentations and some of them are short papers. The research papers, we've limited you guys to only having to do 1,000 words. So hopefully that, it's not like you're writing this, 10-page paper. Okay, and then last but not least, the class schedule and what we're going to be doing from week to week. I can't believe it's 8 weeks. It just goes by so fast. I think when I first was starting with the face-to-face, it was at least 10 weeks, and now it's even faster. So 8 weeks goes by really fast. By the way, that reminds me, there's going to be some level of overlap. And so, for example, this Saturday, I'll be opening up week 2 already. So week 1's now open. Week 2 is going to be opening up Saturday, but we're not going to close the week 1 assignments until Monday. They won't be considered late, I should say, until Monday comes. So there's about a 3-day overlap. So it allows you about 10 days per module per week to get everything done for that particular time. Now, in terms of discussions, you want to make sure that your initial discussion's done at least by Thursday, and not wait till like the following Monday to obviously do your initial post, because you want to give other people time to go in and respond to that. So, okay, so if you have any questions about the syllabus, let me know, email me, text me. But I think it's pretty straightforward. I wanted to get us over to Canvas. Get out of the way. There we go. Can you guys see this little thing that keeps popping up? Keeps covering up everything. Okay, so Canvas. I'm going to show you modules, then we'll talk about discussions and then assignments. So of course on the home page, here's my contact information again in the course description. A link to the syllabus, you probably have seen that already, and of course our Zoom link. I think the Zoom link will stay the same for the second and third meeting. If it changes for whatever reason, I'll send you guys a mass email out and say, hey, that Zoom link's different. But either way, you can go here, click on this Zoom link, it'll get you to the right meeting. And then there's a little video of the class that I took just that takes you on a tour of Canvas. You could click on the quick links to navigate through the website, kind of see a course summary. But I kind of don't like the way that that's laid out, but that's just beyond my control. Instead, what I wanted to suggest to you is start off on the modules page each week. I think it's fantastic. Now you're going to see this Instructor Resources thing. If I were to toggle student view, you guys don't see that. What you're going to see on your end is this course resources for you guys only. There's some information about just me introducing myself there. A class lounge that's just a discussion board for general discussion stuff. Could be class related, could not be. And then if you have questions you want to ask me about stuff, you can post it there so others can see it. How to handle yourself online with online courses. But I wanted to point out this resource right here. I want everybody to make sure you read this before you begin doing your discussions. And it just talks about the KISS principle in terms of, appropriate ways to post on your discussions. If you've had our other online courses with Dr. Baser or some of the other adjunct professors, you probably have heard of this before and you know how to post. So you want to be concise in your post, but you don't want to be too short. But again, you don't want to write a book in your post. APA format is all here if you guys need resources on that. If you get stuck tech-wise, like with Canvas or different things like that, here's IMT links and all that under this module. But what I wanted to show you is week to week, what I would do if I were you guys is I would click on the modules link and I would go down to the particular week that just opened up and begin at the top. So for example, I'd read week 1 and then go through and read everything. And then when you're done, just hit next. So you can see that took all of like 30 seconds to read that, right? So this one's telling you to study the syllabus, just look it over if you have questions, etc. But you're going to do a post on the discussion just saying, yes, I've read the syllabus. It's kind of like your agreement, etc. So that's where another link where you can get the syllabus and move on. So once you're done with this guy's in my way. There we go. Okay, on this particular part, this is where it just provides a link. You see there's Kathy. Kathy already posted her thing, and Steve. Okay, so some people have already posted, fantastic. And you just keep going next as you go through the module until you're all done with your assignments that week and your discussions. And then it usually will finish up with readings and then what you need to actually do if there's a larger scale assignment. So if you probably noticed if you looked at the week 1 module that there's probably the most discussions that you're going to, is the most discussions, I should say, that you're going to do on the entire term is this first week. So there's a lot to talk about, basically. So you introducing yourself, then there's a discussion about the fear of missing out, social media, apps and tools, etc. So kind of the main topic this week, this first week, is going to be social media and just using the internet and social media stuff. So, and then I'll always finish with our faith integration, where I provided a scripture verse, kind of my thoughts on that, and you guys can respond to that. About discussions, what we learned, we just had our fall faculty meeting, and somebody brought up, we figured this out rather quickly, that the difference between Sakai and Canvas in terms of discussions is Canvas, I could kind of go in and isolate each of you and read what you wrote all by itself and then see everybody's responses to your discussion post and then grade it. Canvas is not that way. Literally from the first post all the way down to the last, it's one long, endless set of discussion posts. All the replies are all stacked on each other. So the students were finding out that they had to scroll endlessly to get all the way to the bottom and read through the posts if we didn't do what we're now going to do, and that is creating groups for everybody. So each week you're going to be assigned to one of 3 groups. Just click on the group that you're assigned to. You're not going to see everybody in the class. You'll just see a few of you. That allows you to only have to read a few different posts and then post your 2 replies to those people of your choice, basically. And it just keeps it from me having to scroll a whole lot, from you having to scroll a whole lot through it. And I think it'll work out nicely that way. So I just wanted to keep you aware that you are set in weekly discussion groups. So if you've not messed with Canvas before, you probably don't care about this and wouldn't know any different. But if you took a summer class or you've done Canvas before and you've done a lot of discussions, then you probably noticed that scrolling was crazy.
I had a question.
Yeah, sure. Is this Kathy? Okay.
Yes, this is Kathy. Do we do the initial post in that group, or do we go to that group to do the reply?
You're going to do your initial post there,
okay,
as well as your replies.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. So there's, I think as of today, we were at 18 people, then we dropped down to 16, and then we went up to 17 again. And I know Dr. Baser was asking, I think you got an email from her asking some of you to kind of just switch over to a different class code for 548. You were kind of in a different class. So we have 3 different classes of 548 happening this fall 1. They're exactly the same. There's no difference in dates in terms of the 8 weeks that it's happening. So if you got that, and we talked about this too, but we're concerned about like students not dropping or having the fear that it would drop other classes and screw up their schedule. And she told us to let you guys know that that wouldn't be the case. That'll be totally fine. So it was kind of up to you guys though who wanted to move. Obviously you guys are here now, so you're staying in this class. But that being said, it kind of, you know, I was basing the different groups for the discussion on the amount of people in the class because I wanted to keep it about 4 people per discussion. So there wasn't like too few or too many. So since we're at 17 now, I think it's going to be, it's 3 groups of, it'll be 4, let's see. Check. I have it. Okay, so it's going to be about 5 or 6 per group. If we're at 17, I might actually open this up for a 4th group. I have 4 groups of 4, I think. So it's kind of hard. So I may end up assigning you guys to a different group. I hope that doesn't screw anything up, but we'll see. Okay, so enough about modules, discussions. I talked about those opening up each week on Saturday. Oh, sorry, Gino, question?
Yes, so I don't have to, because I was looking through the discussions, we're already assigned into a group. We don't have to like click into week 1, group 3 or anything, right?
No, you just post in your group. You won't notice anything.
Okay.
Exactly. But you'll what I'm going to do is Canvas as I create new groups each week, it will shuffle you guys up and put you in it. So you might be in group one week, but in group 2 another, and see a whole different slew of people. So rather than have the same groups and you're only ever discussing with like 4 of the same people, I want you guys to actually discuss with other people. So
yeah, I just meant that we're gonna be like, it's assigned by itself, right? Because Canvas looks different for us. So when I click through, it doesn't show like any number of groups. It just says a discussion, and that's fine, right?
Yes, correct. Yeah, and this is new to me too, but from what I understand, when they told us how to do the groups, you guys won't know any different, but you might be like, wait a second, there's only like 4 or 5 people like responding. Like, where's everybody else? There's 17 people in the class, but only like 4 or 5 people. Is there something wrong? It's like, no, it's that they have their groups. Just do your discussion. You won't know any different.
All right, thank you.
Okay, so I will open up discussions on Saturdays. I talked about that. And I told you guys to read the KISS principle. We talked about that. You want to post as soon as possible. Have your initial post, your post, in by Thursday at the latest. And then that'll give you some time. If you guys want, you could in theory go in on like Monday, let's say, do your initial post. It's totally fine. And if others have already posted, you can obviously do your replies and be done with it. But what I was going to suggest to you is, if you see that there's only like 2 other people that have posted and they already have other responses, maybe wait till like the 3rd or the 4th person posts and then do your reply, or come back on a different day. This is something that Dr. Baser also suggested doing. But what we want to do is spread out the replies. I hate to see somebody posting within the time period that they're supposed to, but nobody does any replies back to them or has a discussion with that person. They're just, they're kind of like, let's say Gino posts early in the week and all the rest of the people respond to Gino. It's like, spread those out. So if Gino's already got 2 people that are posted on replies on his, but Ilea, did I say it right? I'm being brave. I'm like trying out to. I had several like high schoolers this year with their names, man, and there was this poor girl. I just couldn't say her name right, no matter what I did. And I finally got it, and then she dropped my class. So I'm hoping she didn't drop because of me. She passed by me in the hallway, and she said, I had to drop, I'm so sorry. But I'm like, I wanted to ask her, did you drop because I couldn't say your name right? I've got it now, but it's already too late. But anyways, so say somebody, Ilea posts, she's got a couple people that's on hers. Gino's got like a couple people. You want to pass them up, and then if Jenny doesn't have anybody, post on theirs. Is kind of the point I'm making with that. So, what else? Sorry, I'm reading my notes here. I do look at all the posts. I'll make sure I read them all. I can't promise you that I'll always be able to reply back to you. Sometimes I'll give my 2 cents if you make a really good point. I'm like, I want to talk to you back or whatever. But I just wanted you to know that I do read all the posts. And then as far as assignments are concerned, I'll kind of switch to the assignments. Those will also open up obviously on Saturdays, but you can see all the modules all at once. So if you kind of want to like work ahead if you want to, and start reading some of the readings for that particular week, if you want to go on to week 3 and you're just going really fast and you want to preview what's coming up, you could do that. But the discussions and the assignments won't open up till that Saturday. And that's to kind of keep you focused on that particular week. So we don't have some people that are like 6 weeks ahead already. So I hope that's okay with you guys. I've been asked to kind of set it up that way. So you want to pay close attention to due dates. The assignments are usually due 1 week for full credit. And then, like I said, for each week that it's late after that, it takes a 10% deduction. Some of the larger projects, like the major applied research project, is something you're going to be working on over several weeks. We used to have something called a massive open online course presentation experience, and that was another one that went over several weeks. But we've kind of streamlined that, and so it's a lot less work for you guys. That's the good news. But you'll still look at what a MOOC is, but it's just less work for you guys. We were asking people to actually join a MOOC course, so you're kind of like already taking this class, but then you were experiencing a class that you would join online. It could be whatever subject you wanted to experience, but it's like a lot of students are like, this is too much for us to like have to basically be in 2 classes at the same time. So We got rid of that requirement, but you could still look it up and kind of research what a MOOC is when you do the lifelong learning research paper. So let's look at each of the assignments, the larger scale assignments, what I'm calling the assignment projects a little bit closer. So in week 2, you're going to have your first kind of larger scale project, and they're not too bad. It's called the project-based learning research paper. Basically, it's a 1,000-word paper in APA format. It'll give you all the details. I don't want to go into that. Underneath assignments, you can just look at, I'll be able to click on it. It'll give you all the details here. Sometimes you're required in the module, though, to look at some of the instructions will come before this about a little bit more details on how to do the researching. And then the actual assignment itself will tell you how you could actually put it together. So you might jump to the project-based learning paper and go, wait a second, it talks about some sort of a topic. Like, where does it say I can pick my topic? Well, if you go into the modules and you look at like the week 2 readings, it might talk about it there. So let's talk about the MARP real quick. If you go down to week 6, you'll see this is when you're picking your MARP topic. And so there's instructions here. But if I go back and I look at the actual MARP assignment, you're going to get kind of some more details on how to like post it to Taskstream, etc. So you might, if you jump ahead without looking at the stuff before it, it might cause some confusion for you. So I'm just saying, make sure you read everything in a module from top down in its entirety. And then when you get to the actual assignment, it'll make sense. I hope that makes sense. But anyways, so week 2, you'll have a project-based learning research paper in APA format. It doesn't have to have an abstract, but it has to be in the format of APA paper. So if you're not sure about APA format, make sure you read the guidelines for it. It's under the resources on Sakai. It'll tell you everything you need to know about that. So week 3 is a digital citizenship in the 21st century presentation. Now, you're not actually giving a presentation to all of us. So when you do a presentation this way, you're going to sort of narrate over it like you're giving the presentation, but you can record the audio as you go through it. You can also do video if you want to. What I usually have my students do is, use your iPhone. You could set it up on the table and then narrate through it. But I think screencast is a fantastic way to get this done, because you're going to be, you guys know what screencasting is, right? Like if you're using like Loom, if you use Screencastify, Screencast-O-Matic, any of those free ones. And what's neat about that is a lot of them have the little picture-in-picture of you. But with any of these 3 presentations you're going to do, just pretend that you're giving like a staff development presentation. That's the best way to go about it. So pretend your staff at your school doesn't know about digital citizenship in the 21st century and you're going to present it to them. So you're not actually giving us a presentation in the class or giving me the presentation, but you're going to film yourself narrating over that and going through your slides and through whatever slideshare you guys want to use. So with that particular presentation, it's going to be 4 to 6 minutes in length. Of course, you'll embed images and different factoids or whatever you found in your research to support your argument. What else could I say? Oh, and then publish that video. If you did something with like Screencastify, I think it gives you an embed code, but I'm not sure. In most cases with that one, you could publish it straight to YouTube and then provide the link to that, but you got to make sure the video is public. If you use something like Loom, I don't know if you guys have ever heard of Loom, L-O-O-M, that's a new one. I just found out. I used it to do the short little video I put on the homepage on Canvas. That one's really cool because it has its own cloud, so you don't have to go outside to a third-party cloud like YouTube. You can go, you have your own little account, it's totally free. And I think it'll let you record, I think it does over 5 minutes, where like Screencastify limits you to like 5 minutes, but it'll provide you a link. And then you can embed that link in your discussion so that others can look at it and respond back to you and watch your video without any fear of it not being able to be viewed because it's set to private or something like that. Okay, so week 4, you have a lifelong learning research paper. So a lot of these, you'll read through the module and then you'll have your assignment that you finish up with. It's usually a paper or a presentation. So what this is you're going to research what is available online for each of the areas that are listed in that particular module, specifically K through 12 education, MOOCs, like I talked about, massive open online course, software training, and there's other stuff too to pick from. And then you write your paper, and it has to be in APA format. Doesn't need an abstract for that one either. Week 5, there's a cybersecurity presentation. This is your second presentation. Again, you're just researching a topic of your choice. I've listed a whole bunch of topics in that particular module. This is going to be a 6 to 8 minute presentation. And again, just approach it like you're going to talk about cybersecurity in a staff presentation. And so if you could record like picture-in-picture of yourself or just narrate over your slides, that would be perfect. Also, with presentations, I'm kind of a stickler on how you guys do your presentations. You guys have probably done a bunch of presentations, obviously, and had some professors tell you specific ways they want you to do it, et cetera. A big thing for me is really being concise with the way that you bullet what you put on each slide and elaborating on the content that's on there. I mean, so you guys probably know this already. Your presentation, your SlideShare software should be there to keep your thoughts consistent, to keep the presentation flowing. And you elaborating on what's there and not actually writing everything in a big paragraph shows the viewers and shows me that you guys know what you're talking about rather than just reading it verbatim. That's what you want to avoid. I usually will mark down if you're just reading things verbatim. So it's okay to like pull some of the words off those bullet points, but you want to elaborate it, study it ahead of time, and know what to talk about. And those bullet points should be there to keep you flowing and keep your thoughts together. So if you could do that, I think you'll be totally fine. Week 8 is the environmentalism position paper. This is not necessarily a research paper, but your stance on environmentalism. We'll give you more details in that, but we talk about EMF, 5G, and health, basically. So I don't want to get into that because it'll be for that particular module, but look over that first and then give us your thoughts on that. So it's almost like an op-ed piece, if you will, and less of a research paper. But you got to do a little bit of research to be able to actually have an opinion on it, right? So, and then last but not least, the big one is the MARP, the Major Applied Research Project. This opens up week 6, I think. Yeah. So you're going to go through all this. You're going to look at, the readings. You're going to look at, eventually pick your topic. It shows you all the due dates here, et cetera, and how much each of those are worth, which is what I really like about Canvas actually is, when it's due right there and you know how much it's worth. And then how to post that to Taskstream, et cetera, et cetera. So everything you need to know about the Major Applied Research is on here. But in a nutshell, your Major Applied Research project is you picking an emerging trend, something that interests you. I would highly suggest picking something that you think you might actually use in the classroom. And then you're going to just try to enrich this presentation as much as you can to support your arguments, but with multimedia. And so, again, you can approach this like it's a staff development type of a training thing that you're going to present. But more importantly, make sure you review the rubric for this on Taskstream so you know how you're going to be scored on this. So there's some specific areas where we're looking for you in terms of how your presentation needs to be put together. So you'll decide on what technology you want for your presentation. Of course, it has to be an emerging trend, one that's being used now. I would say if it's something that's probably been around for the better part of 10 years, you might want to try to pick something else. But again, I would, to give yourself that level of buy-in so you really own it and enjoy doing that instead of it being like a boring, grueling assignment that you have to do. If you own it, and you have that level of buy-in in it, it will feel like something that you can actually use and be worthwhile to you when it's all done. So, but you're going to actually post this as a video link. You can put it up on YouTube if you want to, and then share that link with me. The last thing I'll tell you, and then I'm done, is if there's any missing links or images or weird stuff on Canvas, because when we transferred this over, like right away, I'll just show you. Like if you go in, I fixed all the week 1 stuff, but there's certain things like if you click on faith integration for week 2, I think, there might be these little squares like this. that means that there's supposed to be an image there. I knew this one was already broken, but I got to fix the links to this. They didn't translate over from Sakai very well. That's not a big deal, but if you find that you have like dead links, images for whatever reason that are necessary, that can actually cause confusion, or incorrect dates, you're like, these dates don't jive with what's on the syllabus, etc., please let me know as soon as possible so I can fix it. And I will open it up now to you all. We're done at this point for any questions that you have about the class. If you're like good to go though, and you don't feel like sticking around for any questions or any of the Q&A, you can go now. Wish you the best of luck in the weeks ahead, and we'll see you back on our second meeting, which is, what's our second meeting? Sorry. I want to say it's September the 10th. Is that right?
24th.
The 24th. Wow, I was way off. Okay. All right, sorry, go ahead. Kathy, did you have a question? Somebody had.
I did have a question. In some of my past classes, we would post our assignments, and our peers would like look at our assignments and comment on it. Are we only commenting on like discussions, or are we commenting on our peers' like assignment posts?
There's going to be some that you will comment on, so it'll tell you in that particular module. So if it doesn't say specifically to comment on it, then you don't need to worry about it.
And then just for clarification, we're replying twice within each discussion, right?
Yeah, just twice.
Okay, so sometimes we would respond like this week there was 3 or 4 different things we needed to post, so we would be replying a total of like 8 times for the week, or are we replying to one?
Well, this week's pretty heavy on posting and the discussion. So if you look at what's for that particular, we think we have 4 different forum posts. Yeah. So it would be 3, 3, 3, 3. So you're gonna have 12 different posts. Yeah. Yeah, because you're also responding so it's always your initial one plus 2 others.
Okay, thank you.
You know, you guys, let me double check on what Dr. Baser's saying, because I know she said when we have like X amount of people, it's different when you got 12 people in the class, but when we have as many as we do, that's an awful lot of time that it starts taking up. So I'll see if she wants one post, like a reply. I mean, like, so of course you'll do your initial one and then a reply. So I'll get back to you guys on that to clarify.
Okay, thank you so much.
Yeah, because I'm not sure. The last time I taught this class was last spring, and we were still on Sakai, and we're still going through changes. So if it's only one reply, you guys are gonna love that. So it's a lot less work that you guys have to do.
Professor Holder, you mentioned that like Screencast-O-Matic may only allow us to record 5 minutes. If the research and the MARP is an 8 to 12 minute presentation, would it be all right if I did 2 separate links, or would you prefer it's one whole video?
If I were you, I would actually try this. I used it and I thought it was great. Loom Screen Recorder. Try this one instead. I thought it looked better. It worked better. Yeah. So what it is it's a little extension that you can put in Chrome, and so you can see it right up here. I've got it. And if I click on that, that'll actually start a recording. But you can also go to Loom Recorder or loom.com. And yeah, so see, this is what it looks like. And here's the video I made the other day. And that was 8 minutes. And when I talked to Dr. Baser is the one that just told me about this a couple weeks ago. And she said that there wasn't a limit to the amount of like time. And I thought it worked a lot better too, because it has its own cloud if you go to loom.com. And it embeds it in your Chrome, so it just is a no-brainer.
All right, thank you.
Are you good with that? And you could do picture-in-picture too with it.
Yeah, but you said that was optional, right? We don't have to?
No, you could narrate over it if you want to.
Okay, thank you very much.
No problem. So I'll just go down the list and kind of ask you guys individually. John joined us. How you doing, John? Do you have any questions?
I'm good.
No, I think I'm gonna go back and watch like the first half hour. Sorry, I had parents in here, so.
I was gonna say you're still at work. You got to go home, man. Take a break. Right?
They're not letting me, so I got to stay until the very end.
Did you do back to school night?
Yeah.
That's what we did last night at our campus. So.
Yep. So. But yeah, no questions. I'm gonna go back and watch the first like half hour.
Okay. Perfect. Right. Christian?
No questions.
Louis?
I'm good. Yeah, I'm all right.
Oh, Katya. Almost called you Katya. Ilea?
I'm good. Have a good night.
All right, you too. So I think that's it. We'll wrap it up. And if you need to go back, this recorded, I'll provide a link to it, and I'll also send you guys the meeting notes. Again, if you guys have any questions, text me, email me, and I wish you guys the best of luck.
Thank you.
You got it. Have a good night.
Bye.